top line. Well, moving on from Granules, which trades with a gain of 1.5% at the day's high point, to another company that reported earnings, L&T Finance. Their December quarter profit jumped 7% to 640 crores and NIC an 8% uptake. We caught up with the management on their growth drivers and what contributed to the revenue and profit growth. Here's a slice of that conversation.
We have been following this Lakshya 26 strategy, and as part of that, we had 4 goals to achieve. The first one being retailization. We had talked about retailization of more than 80%. We had already achieved more than 80%. So, this quarter we have actually achieved 91% retail book. The second one was, the growth in retail assets. The growth, we said that we will grow at a CAGR of 25% plus. If you would have noticed, we have grown this quarter at a 31% on YOY basis. The third piece was, as we start growing, we will try to ensure that by the time we achieve Lakshya 26, that is by end of March 26, our GS3, gross stage 3 assets will move below 3%. And net stage 3 would move below 1%. And if you look at over last since April 22 till date, so the whole of FY23 and 9 months of FY24, very clearly directionally we have been moving towards achieving that 3% target on GS3, and we have already achieved below 1% in terms of NS. So net stage 3 today at a consolidated level is about 80 basis points, 81 basis points.
Okay, in fact, my second question was about your retail and wholesale loan book right now. So right. Basically, if you see right now, the entire focus has been shifting towards, green and green transition. So you also have disbursements towards infrastructure and renewable projects. So can you give me a breakup of what constitutes in terms of total disbursement for renewables and infrastructure?
See, frankly, as part of Lakshya 26 strategy, we took a call that we will slowly and steadily exit out of both infrastructure business as well as real estate financing. Our book was more than 40,000 crores. And as we speak, as of end of this quarter, that is December, our wholesale book is down to 7,000 crores. And it's a very small component compared to the overall retail piece. So frankly, we really don't look at growing this book at all. So from our point of view at this stage, talking about whether it's renewables, whether it's operating roads really doesn't make sense, because our whole purpose is to keep bringing down this book. Let me speak more on the retail side. The retail side, our book has grown by 31%, and we are very close to 75,000 crore book. So on a year-on-year basis, this has been a fantastic growth, I would say. And by end of March 26, we expect that this growth, which we saw in the range of about 30 to 35% over last 18 months, we expect that we will surely continue to grow at a minimum of 25% CAGR. And the growth is coming both on the rural side as well as urban side. On the rural side, we have rural business loans, which have been growing at about 32% this quarter. We grew. Similarly, in spite of industry degrowth seen on the farm side, we have been able to make decent disbursements during the quarter, and there is a reasonable amount of growth compared to the degrowth that we see in the industry. So book over there also is about 11%. On the same lines, if we talk about urban, we have continued to grow in two-wheeler. We have continued to grow in personal loans. One more piece, which is a very important piece of urban, is the home loans and LAP. This quarter, actually, we have seen a very robust growth, and we believe that the housing sector is doing very well. And this is one area where the growth will come from.
So, quarter three being the festival season quarter, was that also one of the reasons which contributed towards your two-wheeler growth, loan growth and home loan?
Yes, of course. Quarter three is always, good. But the only, when it comes to rural business loans, people usually keep migrating. They go back to their native places. And also rural business loans is one book which does not grow at the same pace. However, if you see our growth, we have been very focused on, this growth. So we have been doing about 1,800 crores per month in terms of disbursements. And that's the reason why it's all added up to the overall growth of 31% on the book side.
So, one of the challenge you said is migration of people. What could be the other challenges in rural, loan disbursement?
This migration is a very temporary. People go to their native place for celebration of Diwali, and they come back, and it's just comparison between two quarters. So quarter three usually is a bit low when it comes to the rural business loans, but all other businesses you talk about tractor, you talk about two wheelers, whether it's personal loans, SME, home loans. Home loans have been, the whole sector has been doing very well. So we have been seeing a decent amount of opportunity, and we have been capitalizing.
Right. And how's been the growth in the farm equipment space?
As I mentioned, farm equipment, the industry level, first of all, there were challenges with rains, right? It got delayed. And then naturally, the overall industry degrowth of about 5% was seen on a YOY basis. In terms of disbursements, we have done about 2,000 odd crores in this quarter. It's almost similar to what we clocked last year, same time, that is Q3FY24.
Okay, and what is the major contributor? I mean, in terms of all the sectors or the segments that you said in retail, which segment is contributing most?
So rural business loans has seen a very good growth. The second piece, of course, is two-wheeler. Two-wheeler also has had, because of the festive period, we saw a decent amount of growth in two-wheelers. Home loan and LAP, although the disbursement levels have been low vis-a-vis, it's a very vast industry. But if you compare, the amount of disbursements that we have done, we were doing close to 400 crores per month last year, same time. This year we have actually gone up to 650 crores per month, and it's a very decent growth, I would say. SME is a very small book. We have crossed 3,000 crores at the end of this quarter. We've been doing close to 300 crores plus per month.
Okay. And in terms of your gross NPA and net NPA, what is the current status, and how you are planning to bring it further down?
So, as I mentioned, if you look at last, say, 8 to 10 quarters, very clearly, directionally, both the GS3 and NS3 has been coming down. And, on the gross stage 3, we talked about last quarter that we have already, we were very close to achieving below 3%. And this quarter, we have actually done 2.95. So, we have achieved that target of both GS3 and NS3 when it comes to retail book. On an overall basis, our gross stage 3 is about 3.21%, if I'm not wrong. And the net stage 3 is about 0.81%. This 0.81 directionally will keep coming down as we start, going into the next financial year. That's the target. That's the game.
Well, that is all about earnings. Companies, of course, detailing their growth map and what worked for them this quarter and what didn't. In the meantime, a quick check on how